Hey, welcome back to this three-part series about YouTube's rules of the road. In our last video, Kelly talked about our community guidelines and how they're enforced. In part 2, I'll get into how copyright works. Copyright is a legal right that gives the creator of an original work the exclusive rights to determine how it's used. Basically, you can't use someone else's videos, music, or other creative work in your videos without their permission. This even includes singing a song or reciting lyrics someone else wrote. So how do we enforce copyright? When a copyright owner sends a valid legal complaint, known as a takedown notice, we take down the content. We're required to do this by law. We're also required to prevent people from repeatedly violating other people's copyright on YouTube. So we set up a copyright strikes system. If your content is the subject of a takedown notice, we'll issue a copyright strike. Our copyright strike system and community guidelines strike system don't affect one another. But no surprise, if you receive 3 copyright strikes, your account will be terminated and your videos will be removed from YouTube. There's no warning for copyright strikes, but the first 2 strikes have no impact on your account or what features you can access. Also note that there are some regional exceptions that allow you to include someone else's work, so be sure to read up on what counts as fair use in the public domain. You may have also heard of Content ID and wonder how it relates to copyright. Well, to help YouTube creators draw upon all the great content they love while still protecting the rights of copyright owners, we built Content ID, an automated enforcement system that lets some of the world's biggest rights holders find their work when it's being used by others and claim it instead of taking it down. So even though Content ID has a lot to do with copyright, a Content ID claim is not the same as a copyright takedown notice. In exchange for not issuing takedowns, which would result in copyright strikes, rights holders can use Content ID claims on videos to either track video performance but leave the video on the site, to block it on a country-by-country basis, or most often they choose to monetize the video by placing ads on it. Content ID claims never impact your channel or access to features. Over 90% of Content ID claims result in monetization or tracking, not blocking. That means millions of videos that would otherwise be removed and result in copyright strikes instead get to remain live on YouTube. At its heart, Content ID is an automated matching system. Machines can't account for things like fair use or rights holder errors. But don't worry, you can dispute a Content ID claim if you think it's invalid, and will often hold the revenue that the video is making and pay out the appropriate party once the dispute is resolved. So now you might be thinking, as long as I'm following the community guidelines and not violating copyright, then I can become a YouTube partner and make ad revenue, right?
Not quite yet.
What?
Let me sit down.
Oh.
There are a couple more things to be aware of if you want to be a YouTube partner and make revenue from ads. My name's Mahalit, and in the third and final part of this series, I'll give you an overview of the YouTube Partner Program and our advertiser-friendly guidelines. Click this end screen to come on over.